This is going to be a quick and dirty guide on how to reach Diamond with Tryndamere even if you suck at laning. I can't last at minions, I don't know how to manage minion waves, I forget to press the R key sometimes, and I recall by manually clicking the recall button. But I still made it from Platinum to Diamond with a 60% win rate on Tryndamere, so if I can do it, anyone can. In order to understand why Tryndamere is so strong in solo queue, we need to take a look at his kit. Your performance on Tryndamere is measured by how well you can use the rest of his kit to hold off on using Undying Rage. Get 1 point in this ability at level 6 and leave it until the very end. Mocking Shout is used to lower the attack damage of whoever you're fighting. It also slows people when used from behind, which makes it great for chasing down targets, but don't forget that you can also use it over walls to slow opponents chasing your allies, and you can also use it to tell when people are near you. Your passive Battle Fury grants crit chance as you stack it, but know that stacking it through auto attacks is very slow, while stacking it by killing anything is very fast. Bloodlust heals you based on how full your Fury bar is and grants bonus attack damage based on how low your health bar is. Understanding the combination of your health bar, your Fury bar, and your Bloodlust is crucial to winning games as Tryndamere. If you have a full Fury bar and a full health bar, you are ready to go for an all-in and fight your opponent. If you have a full Fury bar and a low health bar, you are ready to bait an opponent into thinking that they can kill you before you heal up a large chunk of your HP and kill them anyway. Keep an eye out for this one, as this is what we'll be using to get first blood. If you have no Fury bar and are at full health, do not fight your opponent until you stack your Fury bar. If you have no Fury bar and are at low health, it's time to run away. Spinning Slash is the ability that makes you a good split pusher, allowing you to escape or engage opponents. Know that the lowest cooldown on this ability is always 4 to 3 critical strikes. Now let's talk about how the different parts of Tryndamere's kit works together. If you spin onto a target, slowing them with Mocking Shout will allow you to crit them until you're able to use your spin again. It is extremely important that you rely on these crits to bring up Spinning Slash frequently to make the most of Tryndamere's kit. If you use Spinning Slash to last at a bunch of minions as you spin towards an opponent, it will allow you to gain a sudden surge in crit that you can then use to all-in your opponent. Tryndamere's greatest strengths in lane are his sustained mobility and damage. You don't have to go all in on an opponent right away, but know that by going in for frequent trades, you can build up an advantage over most of your lane opponents if they cannot match your sustain. These are the runes that I use, these are the masteries that I use, and these are the items that I start with based on how comfortable I feel in my matchup. Now let's take a look at a number of laning examples based on everything that we covered so far. In this first example, we're heading towards our lane against Fiora and we run into Fiora in the Tri-Brush. I was thinking that she has teleport, I have a longsword and ignite, I should probably be able to take her. But in going for an all-in, I broke the rule of not fighting an opponent when you have no Fury bar. And so I die like a noob. Learn from my mistakes and don't repeat them.
Oh, God.
Afterwards we're back in lane and failing to last at minions by shoving the wave. Fiora comes back to lane 2 items ahead of us. We stack up our Fury bar and spin through the minions to engage on her. She takes the fight head on amidst our minion waves. Our attacks are crippled by her attack speed slow, but we manage to bait her into staying long enough before healing up with Bloodlust and auto-attacking and spinning through her to finish her off. Afterwards we see a skirmish in the topside river with a lot of people at low HP. We're going to go in to see if we can help out Pantheon. We don't have a Fury bar, but our damage is quite high given how low our HP is, which gives us a slight edge over the low HP Rek'Sai. The combination of an auto attack and Spinning Slash catches Rek'Sai by surprise with the sudden burst in damage, and we take him down for the kill. In this next example, the enemy team has a Blitzcrank and our team wants to stack up to counter the invade. We intend to spin through the enemy team, so we're going to pick up a Doran's Shield for improved durability. As the enemy team comes in, we spin through them, dealing tons of damage and chase them down with our team to pick up a kill and burn the enemy Jinx's flash. Teamwork is important here. The most useless thing that I could have done is head up top to stand under tower until the minions arrive. Instead, I chose to help my team with their strategy of countering the incoming invade. And so now I have an advantage in lane and my bottom lane has an advantage as well. In this next example, Gangplank drives us back in lane by hitting us with multiple barrels. He sees our HP bar dropping and comes in for a trade, not realizing that we have the advantage with our Fury bar, so we turn things around and kill him easily. In this next example, we're laning against the Cho'Gath, constantly spinning into him for small trades. Cho'Gath has sustained himself, so it takes a while before we're able to get him low on HP. The moment he misses a rupture, we go for an all-in, gambling on a Flash Ignite auto attack that turns into a lucky crit, granting us first blood. Later on, we've built a sizable lead and plan on going all in again, but I know that the moment I spin in on Cho'Gath that he will rupture on himself defensively. So we slow him with Mocking Shout and walk out of the rupture range, avoiding the knockup, then follow up on the lingering slow for Mocking Shout, critting Cho'Gath to death. In this next example, we're laning against a Renekton and I spin in on Renekton with a half-filled Fairy Bar and go in for a trade. But Renekton wins out on this one and drives me back. I go back to farming normally, filling up my Fairy Bar until I hit level 2. I've now got a level advantage on Renekton and Renekton needs to kill one more minion to get level 2. I'm going to take advantage of this brief window to go all in on Renekton as he tries to reach level 2 himself, healing out with Bloodlust when I get low and going for a Flash Ignite auto attack for the kill. You might have noticed a common pattern of aggression here. You have to be comfortable spinning at your targets, using the spin to deal damage and keep up with them. The general rule of trading as Tryndamere is that you have to charge your Fairy Bar to anywhere from half to full as you spin onto your target, and then you auto attack them while walking ahead of them. This can turn into an all-in that gets you first blood as you can go low on HP to lure them in before using Q to heal up, or you can back off and heal with your Q, which will often bring you out on top of most trades. When you're trading often and playing aggressive, you'll find yourself drawing the attention of the enemy jungler. Do not yell at your jungler to camp your lane in response, and do not complain about getting camped by the enemy jungler. This is just part of life in the top lane. Rather, make it a goal to have the enemy jungler waste his time with you instead of feeding off your teammates in other lanes because they aren't as good as you are. Aside from proper warding, you do have some options to play around the enemy jungler. I know that if I'm pushing hard on lane that I'm going to get ganked around the 3-minute mark. Instead of waiting to get ganked while the minion wave is near the enemy turret, I will go straight to the enemy jungler's topside buff and try to kill him instead. In this example, if we stay in lane too long, Elise is going to come in with red buff and with the help of Nasa, she will secure a kill on us. So instead, I go into the enemy topside jungle just before the 3-minute mark where I find Elise and kill her before she has a chance to kill us. Keep an eye on the enemy top lane and mid lane when going for this play so that you do not get surprised by 3 people collapsing on you in the enemy jungle. Hopefully that gave you an idea of how to manage the laning phase using the strengths of your kit to go even or get ahead. Now let's talk about itemization. The core items that you want to aim for are Boots, Vamp Scepter, and Azeel. The quick Fairy Bar charging from the increased crit chance along with the lifesteal will allow you to heal up quickly as soon as you have these items built. And from here on, you can branch out to other items based on what you need. If you simply want attack speed and damage, get a Static Shiv, a Phantom Dancer, and an Infinity Edge. Personally, I try to get Static Shiv first for the wave clear, which will come in handy for split pushing. It's also strong against anyone who plans on rushing armor against you because Static Shiv's burst damage is magic damage. Keep this in mind for the tanks that you will run into in the top lane. If you want cooldown reduction, you can pick up a Black Cleaver, an Essence Reaver, or Ionian Boots. While cooldown reduction is nice, your most valuable skill is your Spinning Slash, and the cooldown on that ability scales better with crit and attack speed than it does with actual cooldown reduction. So I would advise against focusing on cooldown reduction in your build as it is simply not necessary. If you want chasing power, look to get a Black Cleaver, a Blade of the Ruined King, or a Phantom Dancer. Personally, I prioritize Phantom Dancer amongst these items since it gives you chasing power simply by being near someone and it allows you to go through nearby minions. If you want increased survivability, look to purchase Treads, Tabbies, Phantom Dancer, Death's Dance, or Guardian Angel. Once again, I favor Phantom Dancer as it improves your dueling power by reducing your target's damage output by a lot, and combined with some of these other items, it allows you to hold out on using your ultimate much longer. If you want to shred tanks, look to get a Blade of the Ruined King and either of the Last Whisper upgrades. You will need both items to cut through people who stack armor and health. Now let's talk about mid to late game strategies where you will either be split pushing or team fighting. It's no secret that Tryndamere sucks at team fighting. He has no move speed steroids, no attack speed steroids, and no true damage. He's easily crippled by crowd control and his one and only ability to avoid getting blown up is his ultimate, which is not that great in a team fight as the enemy team can force you to use it very easily. Tryndamere does, however, have everything that he needs to split push effectively. He's nowhere near the strongest duelist in the game, but he is strong enough against most of the champions, and with the proper use of his kit and the right items, he can push lanes very quickly on his own, kill people one-on-one, and take turrets, inhibitors, and the Nexus. Split pushing can be broken down as follows. Push lanes, kill people, and run away. Your first goal is to shove minion waves focusing on taking down turrets, inhibitors, and the Nexus. Next, you'll want to kill anyone that gets in your way if you can take them one-on-one. Lastly, you'll want to run away using everything in your kit and all nearby plants and minions if you've got too many people chasing you or if you can't take on the guy that's stopping your push. In order to decide which of these you should do and when, you must observe your surroundings and minimap, constantly reassessing the situation. Who died and where? Is someone rotating? Is someone going to get some minions? Is someone going for a plant? Is someone going for the dragon or baron? You have to notice these things to decide whether you should push your lane, kill people, or run away. Do not look at the minions in front of you. Additionally, here's my entire bag of tricks for success on Tryndamere. Distract. If you manage to draw multiple opponents towards you, present yourself as a visible threat to keep them in the area, creating a numbers advantage elsewhere on the map for your team. Disappear. If you've been seen, consider disappearing from the enemy team's vision for a bit to give opponents a reason to leave the area. This will lead to better opportunities to push lanes or kill people. Dodge. While running away from multiple opponents, you will need to dodge abilities. Do not run away in a straight line. Dodge abilities by leading people in one direction then juking back in another. Disruption. When you apply map pressure with split pushing, it will disrupt the coordination of the enemy team. Half of them will want to stop your push and the other half will want to fight for objectives elsewhere on the map. Keep an eye out for this. 4 crits to spin. Know that whenever you're fighting someone, you'll need to crit them 4 times to get your spin up. Rely on this to avoid relying on your ultimate. Rotate. You don't have to push just one lane. You can rotate between lanes as needed to get multiple lanes flowing towards the enemy team. Intercept. When you push lanes, you'll force people to deal with your minion waves. This means you can intercept and kill people as they go to clear the minions, or you can intercept people as they rotate from the lane that you've pushed back towards your team. When it comes to team fighting, 1 vs 5 is bad, 5 vs 5 is bad, but a series of isolated 1 vs 1s can work. Play off your allies' abilities. Prioritize the bottom inhibitor as this will often create favorable conditions for getting the Baron. While split pushing is the best use of your time, you must go help your team if you think you can make a difference at Baron or Dragon. Now let's take a look at a lot of examples of how this works in game. We'll start off with a simple example. We've just killed Garen in lane and we're low on HP, so we know that we are a juicy target. We see the enemy Lee Sin has killed Warwick, but he's in the bottom side of the river when he does this, so we know that we're safe from the enemy jungler. Looking at the minimap, we see that the mid lane is missing, so we prepare ourselves to run away from the impending arrival of the enemy mid laner. The moment Akali comes around the corner, our escape route is through here. We need to spin over the wall to get away safely from Akali. But our spin is on cooldown and holding onto our flash might get us killed, so we flash over the wall and then spin over the next wall, escaping to safety. In hindsight, we should have used the blast cone to go over the wall so that Akali could not use it herself to come after us. In this next example, Maokai is pinging us for help at the Rift Herald. We head down the river passing by Diana and head over to help Maokai where a fight breaks out and we kill Warwick. As our ultimate is ticking down, we spin out of there, but we expect that by spinning in this direction, we are likely to draw out Diana's abilities in the direction that we spun in. As Diana throws out her Crescent Strike in the direction that we spun in and cancels it with her flash animation to get the jump on us, we flash out at an angle that's at an offset from our initial path, avoiding death and run out of there as Diana gives up chase. Most champions would need to recall at this point, but we are Tryndamere, so we do not need to back right away. I'm going to head up top to charge up my Fury Bar and heal up with Bloodlust. As we heal back up, Diana comes in for another fight. I do not want to fight her and she knows that I do not want to fight her. She throws out her Crescent Strike onto the side of the branch that I would have been on if I intended to escape the predictable way directly towards my turret. Instead, I spin off at an angle to escape through here and she's forced to use Lunar Rush to close the gap, and we've taken her abilities to chain Lunar Rush off the table, giving us an edge in the skirmish. We manage to go even and break away from the trade, coming out on top as her minions arrive. Diana is too low on HP to find us at this point, so we farm a bit more to get enough gold for our next item purchase and head back to base. In this next example, we've taken down the inhibitor at mid and now we're going to pressure the bottom side of the map while a fight breaks out 4 vs 5 on the top side of the map near the Baron pit. Ideally, my team should have kept a safe distance here, but things don't work out perfectly in solo queue and there's nothing that we can do about it but keep pushing. We lose our mid lane Jhin in exchange for the enemy jungle Eve, so now we're 4 vs 4. It's going to take a while for the minions in the bottom lane to hit the turret, so we quickly clear up the mid lane, allowing the mid lane to push into the enemy base. Take a note of what this does shortly. My team starts the Baron while I'm pushing the bottom lane, and this is going to disrupt the enemy team as they are forced to do 2 different things at once. Orianna and Miss Fortune try to stop the Baron while Jarvan and Ashe defend the base from my push. However, Jarvan is stuck fending off super minions from his Nexus, allowing me to get free damage onto the turret. Eventually, my team gets the Baron and I take down the bottom base turret. Afterwards, I try to kill Jarvan and he responds with his ultimate, and I'm going to flash and spin out of there as I cannot fight Jarvan, Eve, and Ashe together. Now I'm running away, but I keep in mind that Eve still might be chasing me. This is important. 9 out of 10 people will look at their shop as they recall right here and end up getting killed unnecessarily. Instead, we look at our Mocking Shout. We see it come up and we know that Eve is in the area. She comes after us, but we're prepared for it and turn on her immediately and she backs off. With multiple objectives secured, we head into the enemy jungle to take the blue buff and head back to base. In this next example, we're recovering from a push by the enemy team and we see Master Yi pass through a control ward towards the dragon pit. We expect that he's going to try to sneak the dragon, so we ping our team to go in and we drive him off. We waste our ignite here as we thought that we could get him, but Master Yi gets away with the help of Thresh's lantern. However, this does allow us to get the dragon. Our Karma is already on the other side of the wall. We know that Master Yi cannot fight as he's low, so we spin over the wall and go after Thresh. We slow him down with Mocking Shout, allowing Karma to tether him for a stun, which we turn into a kill on Thresh. We then take the free red buff and take the Blast Cone back over the wall. Note that we would not have gone over the wall if Karma was not there already. Now I'm going to head towards the top side of the map because I know that this minion wave up here is just too damn juicy for the enemy team to pass up on it, but as we check the river we see Draven running towards the minion wave while Renekton is in the river. We hit the Scryer's Bloom to get vision of the river to reconfirm Renekton's presence. Now we sit here in the tribe rush patiently because Renekton was just in the area. He knows that we're in the area, so he might expect us to go after Draven, and if we go in too soon, Renekton will show up and we will get killed. We wait long enough to give Renekton a reason to walk away. We need to create the illusion of no activity up in this area. Once we think Renekton is safely out of the area, we go in on Draven. With the combination of Ninja Tabbies, Phantom Dancer, Death's Dance, and Mocking Shout, we take down Draven without having to use our ultimate, despite Draven being ahead. With Draven dead, we're now able to push the top lane freely, and with the help of Lee Sin, we take down the enemy top lane turret. In this next example, we're pressuring the top side of the map, and we've got some wards in the enemy jungle thanks to our support Blitzcrank. This allows us to keep an eye on the enemy Lee Sin, who just showed up on the top side enemy jungle. The moment Fiora comes in from behind, we know that we're in a bit of trouble as Lee Sin is still in the area. We start trading damage as we try to retreat, and I spin away as Lee Sin comes in to help her. Lee Sin is going to hit us with his Q, so I immediately start running towards the left to guide him in this direction before juking back to the right as he fires his Q at the direction that I led him in. We're going to steal some move speed from Lee as we run away and then head through our minions as Lee and Fiora chase us. As they get close, we spin away and we know that Lee is going to try to hit us with his Q, so once again we head left to draw out his Q in that direction before juking back to the right. And this causes Lee and Fiora to give up on the chase. Now, are we going to run away to safety? Of course not. Our team is pushing mid, and I intend to keep these two busy. So now we run straight at Lee Sin, juke to the left as he throws out his Q again, we slow him with Mocking Shout, spin on him, and start auto-attacking. At this point, Lee Sin ward hops above us. We have all seen this play pattern before. What does it mean when a Lee Sin ward hops behind you? It means he's about to kick you into his team, so we're not going to allow him to do that by running straight at him. Instead, we're going to head towards the left so that he cannot get a good angle for the kick and has to chase us the hard way. Fiora gives up, realizing that this is not working, and Lee turns back once more. In the meantime, my team has wrapped up their work at mid, killing an opponent and taking down the second mid turret, and now they're going to rotate towards the top side where we get a kill on Lee Sin. The key takeaway here is that we created a numbers advantage for our team elsewhere on the map by keeping two members of the enemy team busy, and this allowed us to take objectives. In this next example, we're doing well, but our team is doing poorly and we cannot lead them to fight for the dragon on their own, so we're going to go over there and help them. We approach the dragon pit from the top side and realize immediately that this is a mistake. We cannot walk 1 versus 4 into the enemy team as we will get hit with crowd control and be unable to dish out any damage. So I rotate around heading towards the bottom side where the rest of my team is, and we join the team fight the right way. Bard hits his ultimate, Maokai goes in, and we're going to slow the enemy team with Mocking Shout and spin onto Diana to kill her. As we kill Diana, Warwick jumps onto us trying to save her, so now we turn around to kill him and he runs away from us. Warwick flashes towards the Blast Cone and I know that he's going to use it to get away from me, so I spin over to it to get carried over the wall with him and we finish him off. Afterwards we slow Jhin with Mocking Shout and chase him down, critting him to death, and now we're going to head down bottom to take another turret. The key takeaway here is that you cannot blindly split push on Tryndamere. There are times when you must teamfight. Had I not gone down here to help my team with my lead, my team would have fallen even further behind. Additionally, we did not try to be a hero taking on the enemy team ourselves. We played off the crowd control abilities provided by Bard and Maokai, which is what allowed us to get this triple kill. The combination of Phantom Dancer, Mocking Shout, and Spinning Slash also allowed us to keep up with every single opponent that we chased down. In this next example, we're pushing the top lane when the enemy Xin Zhao dashes onto us over the wall, so we ward the nearby brush and spin away over the wall back to safety. We let our team know that Xin Zhao is top side and we're going to go back to pushing the top lane from a safe distance. We've killed Gangplank a few times already, and if we kill him again, we're going to take the top turret, so Xin comes by to protect Gangplank. I am perfectly fine with this because I get to waste the enemy jungler's time, and in the meantime my team gets a free dragon. Xin walks away and we keep pushing. We're not going to commit to an all-in on Gangplank until we know where Xin Zhao is. We eventually see Xin on the bottom side of the map, so we're going to go for an all-in on Gangplank, but we need to avoid getting hit by barrels or we will get kited. We charge up our Fairy Bar and spin in past the barrel, slowing him with Mocking Shout and crit him to death. The 4 crits that we got allow us to use our Spinning Slash again, and we spin out of there without having to use our ultimate. It's going to take a while for the minions to reach the turret, so we'll make the most of this time by taking the red buff. We see Xin Zhao just killed our Blitzcrank in the bottom lane, so we know that we're safe up here. We've got the red buff, so we're going to kill Gangplank when he comes back. The moment Gangplank comes back, we go for the all-in immediately, not giving him time to set up barrels. We kill him and spin out of there using our ultimate this time. A key part of this play was hanging around the top lane, presenting a threat that keeps the enemy jungler in the area, and this allowed our team to take objectives elsewhere on the map. Additionally, the reliance on critical strikes to get our Spinning Slash back up allowed us to delay the use of our ultimate, which is why we got 2 kills up here instead of 1. In this next example, we rotated towards the bottom side of the map and we're staying just out of range of the enemy Lucian and Braum. I can't go all in on them, but I don't mind keeping them busy here as it will allow my team to do something useful. But of course, this is ranked solo queue, so my 4 teammates are using teamwork to take down our blue buff instead. Sometimes this game is just too damn hard. Anywho, Xin Zhao takes the Blast Cone over the wall and we are immediately in trouble. I cannot walk past Xin Zhao as he will slow me down and knock me up, buying time for Lucian and Braum to arrive. I do have a brief window of time, however, before Lucian and Braum can get here, so I'm going to go all in on Xin Zhao and try to kill him as quickly as I can. I got exhausted by Braum, but we managed to kill Xin anyway, and this scares Lucian away from us, and we make a hasty retreat using everything in our kit to mitigate the damage that we're taking as we escape to safety. We barely survive the escape here, and so we take a moment to remind the enemy team that we are better than they are. In this next example, we're pushing the top lane and this draws over the enemy Diana. We can't quite dive Diana yet, so we head into the nearby jungle. In the meantime, my team is pushing the mid lane, and so seeing that I'm no longer top, Diana is going to rotate back towards mid to help her team. Knowing that Diana is going back towards mid, we're going to intercept her along the shortest path here towards her teammates. As we ambush Diana, she starts running away towards the Blast Cone, and we know that she intends to use it to get away from us. So we're going to spin over to the other side of it so that we get carried along with her and we're able to finish her off. Once again, this was 4 crits to get a spin. In this final example, we're split pushing the bottom lane as Tryndamere, but we can't really kill the Riven who's stopping us from pushing in. Thresh dies suddenly, so now we're 4 versus 5, which is terrible for split pushing. I pretend that I'm going to go away in the hopes that it will give Riven a reason to leave. Sure enough, Riven TPs towards the mid lane, so I spin back over the wall and start pushing. More and more members of my teammates are dying, but I cannot turn back now. It's all or nothing on this inhibitor. Luckily, the disruption caused by the split push causes half the enemy team to recall and the other half to keep pushing. Our Warwick throws his life away to prevent the recall, and this allows us to get the inhibitor. We've lost most of our team, Riven has come back to defend the base, and now the enemy team is doing Baron. I'm the only one who can do something about it, and it's a bad fight, but we have to take it. We head over and try to put a stop to the Baron. In the skirmish that follows, a lot of people die, but we manage to stop the enemy team from taking the Baron. And now with the super minions pushing the bottom lane, we're going to go for the game-ending play. The enemy team must send someone to deal with the super minions, and this allows my team to start the Baron. I head into the bottom side enemy jungle as I intend to kill whoever is guarding the bottom side of the base as they rotate towards the Baron. As Jinx clears the minion waves in the bottom lane and heads towards Baron, we almost catch her and kill her immediately. My team kills Lee Sin and gets the Baron. As we're chasing down Jinx, Riven comes in to save her. The enemy team is now 4 versus 5 and we are pushing with Baron. We go inside the bottom side of the enemy base to threaten the Nexus, drawing away Jinx and Riven. This allows my team to kill the enemy Blitzcrank at mid. Finding themselves in a losing situation, the remaining members of the enemy team duke it out with my team for kills while we go for the Nexus. The key parts of this play were falling back to pretend that we had left the area, causing Riven to head towards mid, which allowed us to take the inhibitor. This led to super minions flowing through the bottom lane, which helped us take Baron and close out the game. In summary, for the laning phase, focus on fighting and baiting opponents only when your fairy bar is up and get comfortable with spinning towards your opponent. Use your sustain to establish a lead in lane and watch out for the enemy jungler. During the mid to late game, focus on split pushing, which boils down to pushing lanes, killing people and running away. Remember to constantly observe the map and reassess the situation to decide whether you should be pushing, killing or running. And remember our bag of tricks for the best results. Distract opponents. Disappear to give opponents a reason to leave. Dodge by leading one way and then juking another. Disrupt opponents into doing 2 things at once. Look for 4 crits to get your spin up to avoid relying on your ultimate. Rotate to push multiple lanes at once. Intercept people as they go to stop your push or rotate from the lane you're pushing back to their team. In teamfights, look for a series of 1v1s or an outright 5 versus 5. Prioritize the bottom inhibitor as it will create favorable Baron conditions. I can't last at minions and I don't know how to manage minion waves, but this is what helped me reach Diamond on Tryndamere this season. Best of luck in your ranked adventures. If you enjoyed this video, do subscribe to the channel, follow on Twitter, and check out the video links on either side. Leave a comment about the kind of content you'd like to see in future videos, and check out the Patreon link if you'd like to support this channel directly.